Hola clase, ¿cómo están? I miss you guys tremendously. There are things that people feel they have to do every day to live, and teaching is what I have to do every day to live. So I'm missing being in front of you and with you in the classroom. So I mentioned in one of the posts, this is my favorite unit of the year. So it's killing me that I can't be doing it with you in person. So I want to go over a couple of things just so you can understand them better. What should you have out in front of you? You should have out your predicate versus imperfect packet. You should have out your clue word sheet that has predicate and imperfect clue words on it, palabras claves. And you should also have out the charts for predicate and imperfect. They're white, but I asked you to color them P for pink and a different color for imperfect, okay? Posted on Google Classroom are the answers to pages 3, 4, and 5 from that packet. I shared them with you. Look at the answers, look why they are what they are. See if you missed like a double vowel R verb, an I to Y. See if you missed an irregular verb or you put an accent where it shouldn't. Read my translations so that you can see if, oh, I didn't realize it was reading. That makes sense. Okay, so when there's a clue word, it's going to be super easy to understand. If it says siempre, it's always, that means it always used to happen. It's a repetitive pattern, it's imperfect. And there are certain things on this front page of the predicate versus imperfect packet that you should be reading to make sure you know some of the exceptions of when we use imperfect. Imperfect is always going to be the background information. Whether, time, age. Cuando tenía 6 años, when I was 6, you're thinking, wait, when I was 6, it's a predicate action. It's not. It's always going to be imperfect. It's always going to be tenía. And that's because it's age. When you're talking about weather, hacía calor. It was hot out, okay? All the background of a story. It was a dark September night. It was gloomy. There was a rainfall. All that's going to be the imperfect, building up the story. It's when the action started to happen, that's when you go into predicate. Okay, so look over my answers. If you have any specific questions, put them in the comment section of the answer keys so everyone can see them. Hey, Ms. Cusumano, please explain number 5. Why is it imperfect? And I will do that so that everyone can see the questions you're having. But the answer key should answer everything. Just as we're going forward, we're going to start losing some of the help, some of the aids, those imperfect and predicate clue words. When they're not there, then what do you do? Okay? So live from my kitchen, I'm going to teach you a little bit about those. Okay, so if you remember, predicate was for a completed action in the past, something that happened one time or a specific number of times. In English, it's equal to ED. And if you can remember, what was the visual I used for predicate? It happened. He tripped, he fell, they called the ambulance, they went to the hospital. It's that straight arrow down, okay? Whereas imperfect is something that used to happen every weekend, every summer, all the time, as I was doing something over a period of time. It's not specific, or it happened repeatedly so many times it's hard to count. In that case, imperfect is going to be used to, or was, or were doing something, okay? And my visual for that is this arrow, that sort of squiggly, repetitive action, okay? Sometimes there are clue words. When there are clue words, easy. Bing, bing, ring, ring, clue phone for you, clue word, predicate, or imperfect. When it's not, what do you do? Well, can you be specific as to what happened? The phone rang. That would be predicate. The phone was ringing. I still need some more information, so that could be correct too. Think back to when we did Sarah versus a star. Sometimes it could be either one, but when the author or the speaker wants to convey something that's over a period of time or repetitive, it's going to be imperfect. When they want to say the plot thickened and this is what happened, then it's going to be predicate. Let's look at a sentence. This sentence has two blanks. So my choices are either I'm going to have a sentence that has two preterite verbs, I can have two imperfect verbs, and I can have preterite imperfect or imperfect preterite. Those are my choices, okay? So we have to read a sentence and see what makes sense. Sometimes you can rely on how it goes and translates into English. Sometimes you can't. Because sometimes we'll say, generally he danced, but no, it's generally he used to dance. It's going to be imperfect. So don't always go by ed is definitely preterite. It isn't always that case. Here we have a verb dormir, so sleep. So it's either going to be I slept or I was sleeping when he, to enter. So either entered or was entering my room. Well, this is an example of an interruption. So those ones are kind of good to rely on this. If you have an interruption, talk to me. Something was good. Well, you can't talk to me because I'm on video, but let's just pretend. If there's an action that was going on and something else interrupted it, is the interruption, the thing that happened and caused the interruption, is that preterite or imperfect? It's preterite. The thing that got interrupted, it was underway, it was going along merrily in the past. That got interrupted, the thing that got interrupted was imperfect. Okay, so in this case, something was happening, and then something else interrupted it. Okay? Or I can say the same sentence. Something interrupted while something else was going on. So you tell me, I slept or I was sleeping when he entered or was entering the room. What I think is best, which will be the right answer on a test, will be that what was going on first? Did he enter the room first or was someone doing something? The sleeping was going on. So while I was sleeping, imperfect, the guy entered the room. So this one's imperfect and this one's preterite. Either one can be first in a sentence. I can say he entered the room while I was sleeping, or I can say I was sleeping when he entered the room. Alright, so I'm going to take dormir. I have no clue words, so there's nothing to underline. For Kusa's rules, we underline clue words, nothing to underline. I do have P's and I's. So this first blank, I'm going to call it an imperfect, and the second verb, I'm going to call a preterite. Okay? And so I'm going to translate. What is the yo form of dormir in the imperfect? Regular verb, only three irregulars. Dormía, cuando él entró. Okay? And I can say the same sentence a different way. I could have said it, he entered my room while I was sleeping. Okay, either one is good. You can also have this. Okay? I have oír and I have caminar. She heard or was hearing the noise when she walked or was walking in the park. What happened first? They happen at the same time. If they don't intersect or interrupt, you can have two imperfects or two preterites. This is another interruption. If you make them both preterite, what you say is, she heard the noise when she went to the park, when she went through the park. That would be like, oh, I heard the noise, let's go to the park. No, I think she was walking through the park and she heard a noise, okay? So it's going to be, she heard a noise when she was walking, imperfect. So, yo, careful, double vowel R verb, O, Y-O, accent, when she was caminaba por el parque, when she was walking through the park, okay? Remember, a reflexive pronoun is not going to change anything, it's just going to go in the front. You were falling or you fell, and you were breaking or you broke your arm. Okay? So I think I don't want to hear about you falling often unless you're somewhat prone and accident prone, I guess, and clumsy. I think that she tripped and fell and broke, or you tripped and fell and broke your arm. Okay, so those are going to be actions that are definitely finished and complete, and they're both going to be preterite. So P, again, no clue word here. So te caíste y te rompiste. And let me give you the last example, okay? So what's left? We did two preterites, we did PI, we did IP. IP. It's always a joke. It's not as funny on camera, but whatever. Number 4, I want to give you an example of two imperfects. Two imperfects, okay? Here we go. Mientras que means while. I should have planned out the sentences before I recorded, but we're making do. Listen, I have no makeup on. It's 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. You know, who am I impressing? Okay, so number 4. While I was studying, or while I studied in the library, you ate in the cafeteria or were eating. Sometimes kids want to say, well, you studied and I ate. Right, but how long? For over what period of time? We're not sure. I'm just listing facts, so they happen. Or these were processes going on, I'm not really sure how long they were going on. We could debate this in class, and the ones that are debatable are great practice for growing your brain with Spanish knowledge, but they're not going to be, I won't put debatable ones on the test. I promise they're going to be a clue word, or they're going to be an interruption. It's going to be obvious, or one through practice. Make sure you know the sentences from the packet. So if it says, she heard the noise when she was walking to the park, maybe I say, I heard the dog bark when I was at the beach, okay? So they're a similar format, okay? In this one, I don't know how long you were studying, and I don't know how long they were eating, but they were just actions that were underway, and there's no interaction. The fact that I'm at the library, and you guys are in the cafeteria, great, good for you. I got a test, you were procrastinating, I don't know. So these are both going to be imperfect. I put an I and I put an I. Mientras is not really a clue word, nor is cuando, but you're going to see them when you have these sentences with two verbs, either two preterites, two imperfects, or an interruption, okay? So give me the yo form of the imperfect for the verb estudiar. Estudiaba. And comer. Give me comer for ustedes in the imperfect. Comían. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is attack the next assignment. Even if there aren't clue words, look over ones that might have had some combos in them. Now that you've had the instruction, maybe you look at them differently and understand why you got them wrong. But moving forward, if there aren't clue words in the sentence, you can still do it. I've held your hand now with this video, and now you go attack those papers and show me what you know with preterite versus imperfect. Okay? I miss you a ton. Maybe next time we'll come from my living room or my family room or outside of my backyard. We'll have plenty of live videos, I guess. And some other kids, if you're watching this from another teacher, welcome aboard the Cusumano train. I'm going to say buenas noches, and I'll see you guys soon. I love you guys. Bye. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Adios.